Hey folks, and welcome to the Daily Ratings Weekly Movie News Podcast. This week's news brought to you by Sabrina and the Pope. But we'll get into that a little bit later. So for right now, let's start with an update to last week's Paramount announcement of the Star Trek reboot movies. Paramount will be making new films with entirely new storylines, with characters never seen before as well. And we have the main two guys helming the effort, Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daly. They have been tasked to write and direct the new movie and really create what will become an entirely new storyline that Paramount hopes to build off of. So Jonathan and John have made the movie Game Night from 2018. They made the Dungeons & Dragons movie a few years ago, and they also have a Cold War action film called Mayday coming out next year. That's starring Ryan Reynolds, and apparently the test screens have gone really well. As far as the Star Trek film goes, plot details are being kept very much under wraps, so we'll have to wait and see until more comes out. James Cameron says he and Robert Rodriguez are committed to making another Alita movie. Alita: Battle Angel came out in 2019, and although not a great American reception, it had a pretty good international box office. I'm not sure a lot of people were asking for another one, but Cameron said that him and Rodriguez have a blood oath to make another one. And in fact, they actually want to do a third Alita film as well. Cameron apparently lives real close to Rodriguez now, and it sounds like they may want to fast-track the project together. Tom Cruise finally wins an Oscar, kind of. So the Governor Awards happened this weekend, which it's an honorary Oscar ceremony by the winners of the awards decided by the governors of the Academy, essentially. So Tom Cruise, who has never won an Oscar before, has now received the Little Golden Man for Lifetime Achievement. The award was presented by director Alejandro G. Inarritu, who made a film with Tom that will be coming out next year, and it has a high level of interest and anticipation. Cruise said in his speech that making films is not what I do, it's who I am. So good for Cruise. He finally has one, like I said, kind of. And Inarritu also said that, quote, "This may be his first Oscar, but from what I have seen and experienced, this will not be his last," end quote. So time will tell, but we're entering into a post-Mission Impossible Cruise era. It sounds like he's going to be working with some top-tier directors, kind of drama-focused. But then again, this Inarritu project is kind of a comedy, so who knows? But I gotta say, kind of excited. So we'll see where Tom goes from here. Now, Sabrina Carpenter will not only be starring in, but also producing a musical Alice in Wonderland movie over at Universal. Also producing the film will be Mark Platt, who produced both the stage show and the Wicked movies, so he is a major player. Carpenter approached the studio over a year ago with specifics of an idea for a movie. Universal hit gold with Wicked, and I'm sure that Wicked for Good, which is coming out this weekend, will also do extremely well. So you can kind of imagine while Universal would want to keep this genre going, with the backing of the same people who have the structure already set, and then you have a superstar in Sabrina Carpenter, it'll kind of actually be surprising if we don't get Alice in Wonderland Part 1 and 2. And now we'll head on over to the Vatican for good old Pope Leo. He hosted an event at the Vatican revolving around Hollywood with the goal of deepening dialogue in the world of cinema, exploring the possibilities that artistic creativity offers to the mission of the church and to the promotion of human values. So that was the goal of kind of the summit. I basically just bring this up because we also got the Pope's 4 favorite movies. So who thought Sicario would be on the list? But no, okay. So Pope Leo the 14th's top 4 movies are Frank Capra's It's a Wonderful Life, Robert Weiss's The Sound of Music, Robert Redford's Ordinary People from 1980, and then Roberto Benigni's Life is Beautiful from 1997. Yeah, so how about that? A good old Pope Leo. Let's jump on over to the box office for this past weekend. So the 5th biggest movie this weekend was Black Phone 2 with $2.7 million. 4th was Regretting You with $4 million. 3rd was Predator Badlands, still making an okay $13 million for that movie. Second was newly released The Running Man, making $17 million, which that was a little bit disappointing for that film. And then the biggest movie this weekend was newly released, Now You See Me, Now You Don't. That's the third Now You See Me film, and that brought in $21.3 million, raking in $75 million globally. So again, for that film, that actually is pretty good. But coming up this Thursday, Vincent Daly will be watching, rating, and reviewing. We are covering The Running Mans this week. So we're running back to 1987 with Arnold Schwarzenegger for the original Running Man, directed by Paul Michael Glaser. And then we have the newly released Edgar Wright's take on The Running Man. It's a story he's been wanting to make a film with since he was a kid. But that's it, folks, for your weekly movie news here. We'll leave you today with a quote from a director, James Cameron. I had pictured myself as a filmmaker, but I never really pictured myself as a director, if that makes any sense at all. And no, it doesn't really, James. But all right, folks, the Daily Ratings Weekly Movie News Podcast, that was it. See you on Thursday.